I'm sorry. Hi YouTube, Premier Reptiles here. My name's Chelsea.
And I'm Mike.
And we're here with our ball python. She is a lemon blast ball python. We just picked her up not too long ago. She doesn't have a name yet. She's beautiful. She has wonderful patterns. And she's very tame. We are going to show you how to set up a little terrarium for a ball python.
Alright, so what we've got is a 20-gallon long reptile tank with a screen lid. It's 12 inches wide by 30 inches long, 13 inches tall. The first thing that you need is one of these under tank heaters. They're primarily nocturnal animals that really don't like too much light. So one of the under tank heaters helps keep them warm, and the light we're using is not even a fully bright light. It's a blue nighttime light for a regular reptile. That's going to be the daytime light for our ball python. So you pick a side that's going to be warm, a side that's going to be cool, so they can thermoregulate. And we put, this was a 12-watt Zoom-Ed heating pad, so we put that on this side of the tank. And the next thing you're going to get is a big water dish, so that way they can stay hydrated. So we've got this we're going to put in the corner. I took my heating pad and I put it so it will be halfway underneath this water dish to keep the water a little warm, and halfway underneath one of the hides that we're going to put in here. So I'll open the tank up, and this will fit right into the corner. Like so. And another way to keep the moisture up is we're going to use a natural substrate instead of a reptile mat like we use for a lot of our other animals. And this is cypress mulch, and this will help keep moisture in the cage, in the tank rather. So I'm going to add all that.
Cypress mulch also lets the snakes make little, almost like burrows or little holes for underneath their hides, so they can have like a little nest to stay warm in there.
Yeah, ball pythons are animals that spend most of their time in the wild hiding in crevices and stuff, and so for our terrarium we're going to have two hides, one warm and one cool, so that way he can stay comfortable. So now that I've got the cypress mulch in there, I'll take some distilled water and I'll moisten it up. The whole point of this bedding is to keep moisture in the tank, and it was really dry to start with, so give it a good spray down. And I'll probably end up spraying it like 5 or 6 times within the next couple hours. As it dries up a little, I'll keep adding moisture so that way it soaks all the ways through. Alright, so that's the base of our setup. Next, I've got 2 hides. I'll place these in there, one on this warm area, because that mat is going to go about halfway to this water, halfway through this hide, and then I'll take the last hide and I'll put that in the far corner here in the cool area, so she has another spot to stay. I might turn that around. Alright, and then, just like any reptile, we need to keep an eye on the temperature and humidity. Pass me that temperature gauge, Chelsea.
Yeah.
So I've got a temperature gauge here that I'm going to put on the warm side of the tank. The warm side should be somewhere around 90 degrees. So I'm going to stick this right here. I already have a hydrometer to keep an eye on the humidity stuck over on the other side of the tank. It's actually a 2-in-1. It has a temperature gauge and a hydrometer, so I'll know how warm the cool side is and how warm the warm side is. So that's most of the setup. Last thing would be to put the screen lid on. I've already got a timer in the back set up for 12 hours on, 12 hours off. And that is connected to this light, which is, you can use either a blue light or a red light. They provide heat, but not too much light. The snake will spend most of its time hiding if there's too much light. So that's why I'm using something dim that still provides a good amount of heat, as well as the under tank heater to keep her substrate. Alright, and just to add to that, I wanted to show you, this is our other tank. This is a 40-gallon tank. We have a much larger ball python in here. She's about 1,200 or so grams. And this is the warm side, and with a digital thermometer we're keeping the warm side at 98 degrees. And over on the cool side it is about 81 to 82 degrees, also with 2 different hides. And one thing I did, because I had extra space, is I took a smaller water dish and put it kind of in the middle, closer to the cool side, off of the heating pad. So not only can she soak herself in the warm water, she can come over and get it some cool water. And I've seen her actually going back and forth. Alright, so as you can see, it's 98 degrees over here. And over on the cooler side, I'll zoom in a little. It's just over 80, less than 85. So we've got a cooler hide for her to go in, a warmer hide, water that's pretty warm. It's underneath the heat mat, so is about the back 1/3 of that hide, or maybe half of that hide. So I've been noticing her stay here for a few hours and then come over here for maybe an hour. So soak in this water dish sometimes for 20 minutes, half hour. She'll come, coil up on that water dish, take a sip out of it for 5 to 10 minutes, go back into one of the hides. So a 40-gallon tank like this is probably the ideal setup. The tank that we have in the other room has a smaller snake in it that's not ready to breed yet. So she's going to be alright in that 20-gallon tank for now. I mean, people use small racks. I'll show you this snake. You can see she's a pretty good size compared to our other one. Barely fits underneath her hide. And she was previously kept in a plastic container that's smaller than this tank, so this is pretty good for her. Anyways, I just wanted to show you this larger tank to give you guys an idea of what an ideal setup would look like. You could add a stick or something for her to coil up on, but that's not really important. This is all the stuff that's important to keep your snake healthy.
A nice tip would be to wait for the terrarium to warm up a little, so you're not sticking your snake right into something cold or just put together, because since there wasn't any heat on it and there's just moisture in it, it's going to be really cold for the snakes. So wait maybe like an hour or two until it gets nice and warm, and then stick her in there and she'll love it.
So there you have it. That's the basic setup for a ball python tank. A lot of people use tubs. You've seen probably racks that people just stuff them into. But if you want something where you can see your snake and have a nice little habitat for him, it's really simple. Just a couple hides, a water dish, and some substrate. Heating pad and a light, and you're all set. So thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.